Cool. Your event is starting. And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show.
Hello.
Welcome this morning. It is 10:44 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to start the show at 11. We figured we'd do the pre-show. We have a little bit of extra time to get things working, but we are testing our microphones. Pedro?
Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3.
Looks good. Cool. If anybody's in the chat room, say hello. First goes to Galactic 3D. How are you doing? Congratulations, you are first. Sean C. Bala is here in the chat room. We have Springs the Moon Hybrid. Many dots. 4 dots this morning. Thank you for the 4 dots. Robert Eddie saying hello. Hello, Eddie. How you doing? Let me do something real quick. Let's see if I can get this out. We're going to go live on Facebook in 5 seconds or so. Give it a minute. And we're live on Facebook. Can you go ahead and take a look at the Facebook page and make sure that it is indeed live? You should get a tag. As I tagged.
Not yet.
Take a look at the Facebook page and make sure that it is. I got it. Facebook likes to autoplay, so I have to always check to make sure.
There it is.
Muted. Let's see, who else do we have? Carl, Jokey, greetings from Jokey Tech in London. Hello, thank you for joining us. Tech Guy 12 is in the chat room. We have Bob saying something. Bob Craig. Yep. So yeah, we got a really nice show. I got a lot of Ninjaflex prints to talk about. Very excited for that part. Pedro, what are you excited for?
I like this mini PC. Very utilitarian.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's always good when you're able to make a project on something that you built for use in the shop.
Yeah, those are the best. When you need something, you build it. You're like, yeah, I got all the parts to build it. Here we go. Yeah, there aren't many projects with this one, right? Or
I think there's
one project, yeah. Okay. It's cool. So how do you like Windows 10 on this?
It's tolerable.
Yeah, tolerable? All right, so we got Cura is installed in there, right?
We got Cura on here, and the most exciting thing, which didn't make it into the video because we didn't even think about it until we were done uploading all that.
And there's some big news for this too.
It definitely bleeds into current events.
Go ahead. Go. Say, what is it? Open it.
So yeah, it's opening right now. We are able to run our other mill without having a laptop attached to it. We can have this tiny little PC on it.
That's right.
Very good.
Other mill uses Tiny G, right? It's a little interpreter. That's the CNC desktop machine that we use here at Adafruit. And it has really awesome software. It's not for the Raspberry Pi. I would love to use this on the Raspberry Pi, but this is running on Windows. So this is other plan. So I can now have a machine that's over there, away from me, away from the noise, controlling and managing all the G-code stuff, and controlling and managing the machine, the CNC machine. And this can be portable. You can plug it into the wall if you want, or you can have it battery powered. How many hours does the PC run for?
Yeah, the PC will run for 4 hours on the battery that's built into here.
I did some numbers real quick. This thing draws about 700 milliamps. So with the 2500 milliamp battery, we can run it for about 4 hours as well. So you got 4 hours on a full charge, which is pretty cool. So it's going to work out well. Do you want me to dim the brightness here? Because it looks like it's overblown.
Yeah, I have to keep having to angle it.
Oh. I see something like that, maybe.
Just be the angle, yeah.
There you go. What if I go all the way down? That's definitely better. There is a way to PWM the brightness,
yeah,
so you can actually control it, but we didn't add that. We didn't really need it. But yeah, it's definitely something you can do. All right, back in the chat room. A lot of chat happening. Very cool. We got Joseph in the chat room. Hello from Baltimore. We have Charles. Hello, Charles. Thank you for the smiley face. We have Keen saying hello. Hello, Keen. Welcome to the chat room. Welcome to the show. We're going to start in, 10 minutes? 10 minutes. We're going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we're just kind of doing that.
Make sure everything is working.
So along with other plan, we want to talk about Other Mill, the company, was actually acquired by Bree Pettis, who is the co-founder of MakerBot. He left in 2013 or 14? I don't remember. We have full coverage on the Adafruit blog if you're interested in that. Yeah. Hello, Mikhail.
Just getting all my notes loaded up here. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat room. How's everybody doing in the chat room? Are you guys working on anything cool, interesting? Let me know. I'd love to share about it. So this is connected with this keyboard, right? Wirelessly. Yeah. This is not wireless HDMI. The HDMI is actually right over here. There it is. We're going to talk more about these little connectors. We have different variants now, and we're working hard to get them in the shop because we think they're ultra cool. Jameson is in the chat. Hello, welcome, Jameson. Thank you for joining us. Today's mug is this guy here. This is today's mug. This is actually not my mug. This is Pedro's wife's mug. I stole it. Mikhail wants to talk about solar tech. I haven't really done many solar projects. We do have a solar...
couple solar products in the shop.
We do have solar
nice little
products,
flexible solar panel.
Yeah,
it's really
I think we pinned it to like a bag, like a beach bag tote. Yeah.
Actually, that'll be, I think, tomorrow's Instagram edit. So
oh, nice. That's right.
out.
Yeah. Check out Adafruit's Instagram. We've been posting a lot of older projects, and they've been getting really good traffic because they're very. When you get enough content, it's hard to remember that they're there for the new people. So we have to kind of constantly repost them. Yeah.
Free tour and meet at Adafruit Industries.
The only way to get a tour at Adafruit is if you personally know someone who works at Adafruit, and you have to be really close with them. Yeah. That's the secret. Don't tell nobody, okay? That's the only way. And you have to be related to them in some way. So you have to marry somebody in Adafruit in order to be able to get in. Yep.
Oh, Galactic 3D printed this week's Timelapse Tuesday, the fidget spinner.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, this thing is awesome. I know we said we wouldn't do fidget spinners anymore, but we just had to do fidget spinners.
I know, people love them. We're actually going to do another one.
You know what Probably really irks me about this project, though? This video with the time lapse gathered 4,000 views on YouTube in less than, a day? My last week's project, the one I spent a lot of time on, only got like 20% of that. And it's like, wow, these fidget spinners are way too popular. So, kind of irked me. It's like, really? I spent all this time on these truck risers, and nobody saw it. Everybody wants a fidget spinner. A skateboard is like 4 fidget spinners and a board. That's what it is. It's like, I should have just did this on the wheel. But I got an update for you on that note about the truck risers. Actually, let me share this with you guys, since this is the pre-show. This is an update for the project. There we go, slide switch. See that right there? Shout out to Bill Binko, who sent me these parts, are printed in PETG, or PETG, whatever you want to call it. It's got that Maker green color, AT Maker's green. So I basically have 2 now. I have one in the front, one in the back. What I'm going to do is send the green one to the fine folks at Braille YouTube channel. If you don't know Braille YouTube channel, they are the skateboarding YouTube channel. They have like millions of subscribers. And Lance emailed me back. He said, yeah, I'd love to try them out. Here's the address. So I'm going to ship them to them. And they're going to love it. So let's hope it holds up. So there's the truck risers in the front, in the back. A lot of fun. Can I just put this right here?
Yeah.
So again, shout out to Bill Binko and Kirby G, who both sent me parts of the truck risers printed in very strong, durable plastic, nylon and PETG. So
yeah, Kirby
just so much
joined the chat.
Hey, we were just talking about you, Kirby. Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday.
I had to look up at the calendar. to
Dude,
make
don't
sure.
scare me like that. I literally thought, oh my God.
Are we early?
There's no way. Oh. Any ideas on perpetual motion? That hurts my head. No, I don't have any ideas on perpetual motion. I think we wanted to make a, what is the drinking bird? Is that perpetual motion?
What was that for
Not
again?
really. I don't remember. We have a billion things in our list, and it's like,
We were just looking at all the project lists. I think we're good for like 3 months.
oh.
Yes, Wednesday. Thank you for scaring us.
Yeah, Robert is asking if people want to meet at a Starbucks or any future conventions. Yeah, Maker Faire. We'll be at Maker Faire in New York, most likely. Yeah, I mean, I will. Probably.
I don't know if I'm going to make it this year to the New York Maker Faire.
Kirby needs a vacation. Yeah.
Is M3D still worth a buy? If you're able to figure out Octoprint, then
If you're willing
to
use Octoprint and set it up with that, it's a great machine. And you're willing to print slow and small, and yeah, it's worth it.
yeah.
But there are so many other options out there now. It's really hard to kind of say yes or no.
I mean, I like mine, but oh man, so many people have problems even getting it set up.
Yeah, it's
so,
a hit or miss with a lot of people.
yeah, it really comes down to how experienced you are with 3D printing and knowing what to do.
Yeah. Well, it's with any printer. These things all break. Hey, Augustin is in the chat room. Hello, Augustin. Flowlistic. You may know him as Flowlistic. Father of no Pokemon. No.
Projects coming up in the next 3 months. There are a ton.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have the
I think
sheet
he
open?
has a project in the works that I'm very excited about.
I can't wait. We've been seeing the progress on that. Looks
Yeah.
really good.
Yep.
I don't know what the notes for.
Aw, Kirby is saddened that
the
the
cancellation of-
Chicago Maker Faire was canceled. Looks like he wanted to go to that one. Can't make it to New York. Aw, man. Well, Kirby, if you can pay for your, what is it called, traveling, we could probably get you a free ticket. So just keep that in mind. I know that's not really, the airplane ticket's gonna cost way more, but we could probably do that. Set you up as a media.
Upcoming projects, we have if you watched Desk of Lady Ada last night, you could see what preview of next week's project will be, or actually the week after. Arcade button, feather box.
This is great, yeah. So we got these new mini arcade buttons. Hopefully we'll get them in the mail very soon. And we're gonna put them in a box and using the same D21 feather with the Express optimized for MicroPython. There's already code written for it, so it's going to be like a little button switcher for Wirecasts for Phil. So very utilitarian project, very useful.
Other ones are utilitarian tools for like a necklace, more CNC projects, hydro dipping. We've been doing some hydro dipping experiments with 3D printing that turned out pretty good.
Over the weekend, I drew up some vectors for the Flame Blade, which is a light up sword that you get in Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I'm kind of looking forward to work on that. I have to put it on hold though, because there's some other things coming out. There's some new subscription box things that I'm working on that I can't talk about because it's for secret stuff. Kirby's working on a Bluetooth YouTube remote guide. It's pretty cool. All right, Joseph is saying World Maker Faire will be on September 23rd and 24th. I think so. So yeah, we'll be in New York around that area.
Other projects are, I just pulled away from it. Yeah, more cosplay stuff. It seems that people really like the Zelda stuff. So a
Yeah, it was a
shield,
huge, yeah.
the light up shield should be interesting.
The Guardian Shield. Yes.
Guardian Shield.
Yeah, one of them.
It's
One of
the
smaller
triangle
ones.
one. It's really cool.
Tuna's in the chat room. Hello, Tuna. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you are.
So some really cool ones using the
We're still talking about projects?
Yeah.
All right. We have 2 minutes.
Oh yeah. Some new functionality in the BLE Connect app.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So K-Town did a lot of work, and I think it was Tatch too. They did a lot of great work on the NeoPixel kind of demo sketch for the NRF52. So I showed it to you last week, right? Where there's like you pick the UI, you can pick the colors and stuff. So
yeah, but it really warrants a in-depth full video.
I think
standalone
so.
video
yeah.
for all
just
that.
to kind of, if anybody's new to Arduino IDE, installing like profiles and installing libraries, this will hopefully be a good introductory to it. Yeah, because the old color picker code was a little bit
Ninja Cat
limiting.
for Ninjaflex. DJI news at 8:30. Yes,
Really?
I'm looking forward to that.
The goggles?
No, I think it's a smaller drone, even smaller than the Mavic.
They're getting smaller and
Yeah.
cheaper. Cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and start the show. All right, guys, we're going to put some curtains up and then do the show. Here we go to do the show. Do the show. Because here we go. And we're live. Hey, welcome everybody to 3D Hangouts. I'm Noe Pedro Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week, Mr. Pedro.
What's going on? Noe Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
Yeah, this is sure we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. We hope to inspire. This week's coupon code is MINIPC. So if you use MINIPC at checkout, be sure to enter in MINIPC in that little box. You'll get 10% off your order, which is awesome. We also have some awesome deals. If you spend more money, you get deals. If you are in the States and if you spend $200 or more, you get free UPS ground shipping. Some restrictions apply, yada, yada, yada. Go check out the website for that. Adafruit.com/free. Same day delivery for folks in the New York City area. So if you are in a certain zip code in New York City, you can get same day delivery, which is pretty cool. Adabot is there. It will help you. We have Adafruit Daily. This is if you want daily newsletter content. You have to opt into it. We also have a new one called New News. This is new.
All of the new products that are released every week at Adafruit, so you can check those out, get a nice little description of all of those.
Once a week.
Cases.
Yeah, this is once a week.
First one, I think, went out earlier yesterday, I want to say.
Yeah. Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I didn't even look at it.
Yep, I got it.
All right, cool.
Really good.
All
Let's
right.
go ahead and jump into this week's project.
Sure. Let me pull it up. So what did we do this week? Well, we did this.
mini PC. If you go to the overhead real quick,
Oh, all right.
this little 7-inch is using the backpack display that we have in the shop. I think we've done maybe one project with this, so I want to do an update to that, mostly because of all the modeling techniques that we figured out how to do over the years. We figured out how to use less screws. The other one had so many. We are now using a lot of the snap fit nubs, so we can use this to make a much slimmer case instead of having like all of these standoffs that were usually on the side. I had to actually increase the case size because of that.
Oh, yeah.
So not having to use those, we're going to actually make this a lot smaller. We're actually using M screws throughout the entire build this time. And the star of the show for this one is these really cool HDMI PCB little ribbon connectors, which makes building this a lot more simple. So these are these guys. We've been showing these off for the last couple of weeks, but I didn't grab what a regular HDMI cable looks like just to show the comparison of why these are such a big deal and using these for the portable display projects. I think you got one right over there.
Yeah, this is typical, and I think we sell these in the shop.
Yeah, so compared to just how ginormous these are, and if you wanted to have like a right angled one, I think I have one somewhere over there, but yeah, I mean, this clearly illustrates just how huge these guys are, especially with the wires here. You're able to get these in a lot more smaller places, especially with like something like a right-angled one like this. Look at the crazy size comparison.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this is that they come in different orientations. So we have 90 degree up, 90 degree down. We also have straight.
Yep.
And then we have the mini HDMI as well. And same configurations for those, 90 degree up, 90 degree down. So this will make building a lot of the Raspberry Pi or monitor projects a lot more easier. The coolest thing about this is that we're running a full-blown Windows desktop PC because we're using this very nice Kangaroo desktop PC. So it's got like 1.4 gigahertz, got like 32 gigs of RAM, and you have expandable memory by using a little micro SD card inside there. And it's all being controlled with the wireless keyboard. We really like the Kano keyboard that we have in the shop, so you can pick this up if you want. We also have the, what is it, the RII keyboard. Not as good, but this one is.
I love this one. Built-in mount, a touchscreen pad.
Yeah, a little tactile mount.
Right and left buttons over here. And just an overall nice layout, nice travel on the keys, those type of things.
We're also using our quarter 20 or 3/8 to quarter 20 tripod adapters that we have in the shop as well. And then the coolest thing about this is being able to bring this over to any of the printers, update the firmware, or in this case, as we're showing here, we didn't have time to actually show this in the video, but I think one of the most coolest thing is being able to run our CNC, the other mill, right through this little 7-inch PC. Usually we have to have a laptop completely tethered to it, which can be sort of a pain because it gets in the way when we want to have other things that we're working on the table there. So this makes it a lot more easier to just have this guy hanging around.
LCD or OLED display, and what's the resolution of the display?
So this is the 7-inch backpack. We can go to the product page. It is a 800 by 600, so primarily, 800 by 480. So a lot of the older PC apps run really well on this. The scale that's really good, especially if we're running like things like Scratch, or works excellent with a Raspberry Pi. But this was definitely meant for running some of the older legacy PC Windows apps. I'm sure there's like so many of those like machines that only run like older, just run Windows programs. So this is primarily what this is targeted for.
This could also make a really good art installation. If you needed to mount this to something specific, you can mount it. It has HDMI driver built into it, so it's all integrated into the PCB. There's all the circuit and stuff. You can power it through USB, micro USB. So if you don't want to have it battery powered, you don't need the power boost, because that's what's actually powering it in this project, 'cause it's portable. You have several power pins to kind of do that. So there they are in the back there. There's also these mounting tabs. You can break them off if you want, but they're there in case you want to put it in a case, like we did here. Cool.
Somebody in the chat is asking, can they buy a complete project with the case? No, unfortunately, you're going to have to get the case 3 printed by somebody else, like 3D Hubs. You can just download or link them to the files, and they can print these out.
You just upload it, and you can
just upload
they
it.
can bid, and you can get a price quote right there on the website.
Yeah, so like we were saying before, updating the firmware on some of the printers. For some reason, they don't like a Mac for updating some of the firmware on there. For some reason, like the serial communication, we know how that is on some of the USB ports on the Mac. They're iffy. This is recognized right away and really fast too. And because of the size of this is actually smaller than a MacBook Air, so I can literally just plop this, drop it inside of the print bed on the printer, and then just leave it there as the firmware is updating.
And since your keyboard is detached and wireless, you can kind of do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
We show you propping it up on a tripod. That worked really well. Wait, whoa. Christian Martinez is printing the Zelda sword right now. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for sharing that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I hope it turns out good.
Yeah, so there were some comments on why we didn't use the touch screen monitor on here. This is obviously after you've finished your project and uploaded it, have everything ready, that's when you start realizing all the cool, different things you could have did to the project. But like deadlines, there is a cutoff point where you do need to just release things. But that would be a nice addition for a follow-up project. But the way that you would do that is having a USB that is inside here. We do have several USB hubs. We can just rip out all of the plastic around it, mount it to the lid on the inside of there, and then connect the USB that is handling the touch display, and then just plug that in there, and it'll actually give you more USB ports. So future project.
So this is a touch. There is a version with the touch screen module. Is that correct?
Yep.
You can go one of these guys. See how it says without touch? I think the touch version has.
I think it's like $10 more. Yeah.
Right. With touch.
Yeah. So the way that's working, or the way that the touch is working, is by plugging in the USB.
You can see there's USB there and USB there, and you get that touch.
Yeah. So that's how we would do
touch
that.
the screen,
which is really good. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. So let's take a look at the guide real quick. Just kind of walk through it a little bit. You want to walk through it with me? All right. So here's the little interchangeable HDMI connectors that we're talking about.
Yeah, we should be getting these in the shop pretty soon, but I really like this because they're basically like Lego for HDMI, since you can configure these any way you want. You can get different lengths for this, and if you go over to the overhead real quick, they're able to handle being flexed a lot. So you can see these. I did a lot of flexing on these. You can kind of see it right there, the way that these bend into shape. And then for this 90 degree, I actually bend this all the way over like that to get it nice and slim into the slit on the lid there. So
there's a lot of mechanical strength too. You can see that the solder pads, they're double-sided solder, so it's like there's definitely mechanical strength going on there. Yeah. And if you accidentally tug on it,
we've done some pretty hard tugging on these for like when I was disassembling it for the assembly of the taking photos and all of that, and pulling these, and the same cable that I've been doing all that is the one that we're using here to show off, so it can handle a lot of stress. And we're quite happy with that. They have like this fabric on the back there, and this is like the slimmest cable, HDMI cable that we've ever seen. So really cool for that. For other projects, if we can jump back over into the guide, we can take a look at, it's pretty simple. It's just 4 connections. The power boost is handling the recharging.
Yay, so the power boost, love this thing. I use this in every Pi project that's portable, because it gives you a charging circuit, and it can provide 5 volts. It has an onboard regulator. It'll take the 3.7 volts from the battery, make it 5, smooth it out, makes it work on a lot of different things that require 5 volts.
Yeah. Additional parts, just M3 screws, M3 for the display, M2.5 for the power boost, and M2 for the little brackets that are holding the PC on the back here.
Yeah, they're all linked. Thank you for linking those.
Yeah, these are all through Albany Fasteners is where we get a lot of these screws from, so you can check those out there. They have a lot of different sizes as well, and good pricing. I think the most expensive thing is the shipping.
I would have to say that length of your screws absolutely matter for this project, correct?
Yes, and that is another reason why I wanted to revisit this project, because when we did this like 2 years ago, I was using like standard Freedom units. So none of them were actually the right length, and they were actually sticking out of the some of the boards and things, but it's all that we had. So these are all using the
They're a little bit longer than necessary. These are like the right size.
Exactly the right size, yeah.
Cool. So everything is linked here. You can grab it. It's all linked. Tools as well that we use in the project.
Yeah.
Great.
Jumping over to the circuit diagram is really easy. You can just take a look at that. The enable.
No data wires. Just straight up voltage and power. Look at that. That's great. The switch has its own little pin. It's called the enable switch. This will cut the 3.3 regulator, and it'll allow you to recharge the battery, the LiPo battery that's connected. Of course, you want to use the LiPo batteries that we carry in the shop, because we designed it just for these LiPo batteries. Okay.
Since we're here, somebody just asked, where do we get the Kango PC? You can get it on Amazon. We link it right in the guide, right on the overview page. If you scroll down to the parts needed, it is the first thing, Kangaroo desktop PC. You take a look at that. It's about $169. When I got it, it was on sale for some reason for quite a while. It was like $99 is what we bought it for. Wow. So definitely search around. I think I actually got it from Newegg.
Yeah, Newegg.
Yeah,
so it's like a key ring, like a key ring holder.
Yeah, there's so many like different attachments you can put on there.
It's got USB 3.
it's really
This is
cool.
a great little PC if you really need Windows.
Mhm.
When
You know,
Windows
like when
apps, this works great.
You know, like some places still use like the giant like tower PCs, so it's always
You
great
can replace
to see.
it with this.
Yeah, you can definitely
Yeah.
replace it with some of
It
that.
won't run Windows
built in.
XP though, right? It's got 10.
Believe so.
It's got
yeah.
10,
It's
64-bit
10
Home
ML.
Edition. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's built in.
they stopped supporting it, but even in the factory, we still use Windows PC for some of, or
I wonder
XP
if that's
for
what's
some of
the pick and place machines. Is that what they're running?
one of them. One of them does use
Yeah.
it, but of course we don't connect that to the internet,
Yeah.
so it's used just for running that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is primarily what this type of project is for. Old, quote unquote, old piece of equipment that is only being able to run with the Windows software. So this is why this is super handy.
Okay.
Continuing on to the 3D printing, standard settings here. It'll take about 3 hours to print just because of the size of the case. You are going to need a fairly medium to large size build plate for this.
I got a question for you on the chat room. I believe Christian is asking, why are you printing at 230? Yeah, why?
Yeah, that's a common question,
230?
actually.
It
So-
is a common question. He's saying that he's getting a lot of stringing at 230 on his i3 MK2S, which I did not see at 205.
Yeah, so it's definitely environmental variables is what determine what your optimal printing settings should be at. Because our house is fairly cool, a lot of the time we definitely have to bump up the temperature for that. Every time I try printing under 230, I always get clogs and what's it called?
Okay.
Grinding of the film because
Right.
it's not able to heat up
That's
enough
our base thing. It's like 230.
Yeah.
I print everything at 220. Seems to
on
work
the
for me.
Flash Forge, right?
Yeah,
So it also different printers matter as well.
yeah. So you'll have to kind of change it up as you go. But yeah, 230 is kind of
Exactly.
hot. It's kind of max for most other things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay. Any other questions? Yep. I think that was it. Kirby's helping him out too.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Just kind of telling you where you
Yeah,
where's this
you
coming
can
from.
experiment with the temperature and the speed as well.
Cool. All right. So this took how long to print?
This takes about
4
4 hours, I want to say.
say
3.5 hours, 4 hours, something like that.
Reason being, it's 0.2 layer height, and it's just a very
Yeah,
large
yeah.
part.
So I did try to print it out with the 0.6 millimeter nozzle. That took like about an hour. Problem is that I did not design this for a 6 millimeter nozzle, so all of the parts do not snap.
Oh wow, the tolerances are way off.
Yeah,
huh?
they're way off at
Oh,
0.6
man.
millimeters. But you definitely shave off 2 hours. If you just want to go into the Fusion 360 file,
Increase the
and
width, or try to
increase
get
the
your,
width,
your
yeah.
toolpath the right thickness.
yeah, check out the layers
Oh
on
my
that.
goodness, look at that.
It looks really good though.
That looks great. Yeah.
So this is just a 6
An
millimeter
hour?
nozzle. Yeah, this took like an hour and a half. You can definitely see when compared to the.
Yeah, you can see that. But it doesn't matter here. I just need a box.
I know exactly.
Getting in an hour is like wow.
hmm
That's great.
But you can definitely.
Same thing with the mounting holes, right? The standoffs don't, like the screws don't kind of, they're a
I
little bit too
didn't
tight.
test that. The most important part for this one is
Snap
that
nubs.
the lid snaps on there and holds on tight. So those can be edited. Inside
That's
the
a good
Fusion
point of
360
just saying, like, when you're doing something that has very specific dimensions and you switch to a nozzle, yeah, you're going to get different tolerances.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
hmm
Okay.
Moving right along with the 3D printing. Let's see, bed leveling. I just used blue tape.
Blue tape. 6 in
to
stock, guys.
adhere. Yeah. So
We had
this is-
40 the other week.
Yeah. So we have really big plate sizes.
Covers the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's jumbo.
Jumbo, nice adhesion.
3M. Or, yeah, 3M.
hmm
It's good stuff. We use it on every project.
Yeah, a bunch of the projects.
Yeah. Any reason why you didn't want, what do you call it? The glass bed?
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that because of the
Warping?
the front of the actual, like the face of this part is right where you lay the part on the bed. So I just wanted to make sure that there was no warping on that. And you can see here, there is no warping on it. So it
Nice
did a really
flat.
good job. Yeah, nice and flat.
Cool.
So just when you need that extra adhesion on there, or you could use PEI or PIE or any
PEI.
other
Yeah, PEI. Or
surface for that.
Build Tack is a great one.
Yeah.
Print and Z, my favorite one.
hmm
Good. All right. Next up, assembly.
Kirby's saying yes, you do have to print slower with lower layer heights.
Yeah.
So the assembly for this is really simple. We're just using the 26 gauge silicone coated wire just because they're nice and flexible. You're able to bend these around, like curl these up to get like some really nice wire management when it's inside the enclosure. Super simple, just using the wire strippers to strip and then tin those guys up so they don't fray up. And then very simple connection to the power boost. We're just attaching it to the plus and negative pins on that. And then we hook up the enable and the ground connections to that. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing is hooking up the HDMI cable and mounting it into the display for the case. And if you scroll down, you can see the GIFs for that. A little bit of a tight fit, but you are able to angle it in place and just snap it in there. And then you are going to have to move it over to align the standoffs with the tabs on the backpack display. The slide switch has a little port opening, so you can just pop that inside there, and it will be held in with the 3 walls on each side of that. The battery is mounted with some gaffer tape. Now I could have added little brackets. I saw John Park actually modeled some nice little geometry to hold batteries in place. I just didn't get around to it.
Yeah, I did something similar. There's just walls on the truck risers.
Yeah,
it's just like something to hold it in place. It just keeps it in place, and then I use mounting tack on the bottom.
Yeah,
but tape is a kind of quick and dirty way to do it. It will stay in the right spot. The battery doesn't get hot, so you don't have to worry about it heating up or anything.
Yeah, and it does add a little bit of protection, even though there is no pointy parts on the back of the backpack display there.
Nice and flat, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and flat.
Cool. Thread it.
And, yep, we're just threading the HDMI ribbon cable through the top of the lid there, and then we can connect our HDMI cable. That's another really cool thing about this. Usually when we have to do a project where the HDMI cable is coming out, we always have to have like a cutout so we can actually slip the cable through.
Right.
With this, we can just take off the connection, thread through, and then reattach the connector piece. A nice feature of being able to choose what type of connector you want. And the last part here is just adding these brackets that are holding the PC in place. Very simple, we're just using M2 screws to hold everything together. And that's pretty much it. Apart from being able to add the 3/8 to 1/4 20 on the bottom so we can attach it to a tripod, that's pretty much all you need.
Cool. Where do I go next? Overhead?
There, the overhead, yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Everything recharges through USB, and the the Kangaroo PC is just a standard adapter that comes with to recharge that up. You have a 4-hour battery life on the PC, and I think about an hour of power on the display. So nice amount of time. Usually for flashing your firmware, it only takes like 10 minutes at tops. But of course, like we were saying, if you want to run like the other mill, you can just have this plugged in, and that should get you through your entire cutting project.
So if you are in need of a monitor, a display like we have here, it's HDMI, be sure to check it out. You can pick one up and use coupon code MINIPC at checkout. Get most of the stuff you need for this project.
Yeah, we are sourcing the HDMI connector, so those should be pretty soon, I hope. It takes a while to get shipment in from different parts of the world, so pretty soon.
Hey, look, it's Cura.
Yeah, so you can run Cura on here, of course, and prompt interface for doing any jogging of printers, and of course, like we were saying, the firmware. And again, oh man, can't wait to get some shots of running other mill.
Yeah, that's good.
Or other plan.
Yeah, other plan.
For the other mill. Okay, cool.
Cool. You don't want to try to install Fusion on there, just to kind of see. Can I install Fusion?
Most of the newer apps are not going to like the 800 by 480 resolution. So.
I think we tried running make code.adafruit.com.
Oh yeah, it runs. It's just the
layout's a little bit too small. Yeah, because it is rather a small thing. So to be aware that if your app is kind of large, it's only 800 by 480, not 800 by 600, 800 by 480. So just keep that in mind. Again, you want to get it, it's in stock right now. It wasn't in stock yesterday.
Yeah.
It's in stock now. Mini PC, 10% off.
Very nice timing on that.
Yay. Do we sell the HDMI cable in the store? Ask Andre.
We will.
We will soon. We're working hard to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super useful. We're
gonna sell out of these things when we get them. We got a bunch of them. We're gonna use them in every project now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along to this week's work in progress.
What are we prototyping?
What are we prototyping?
Next week's project is right here. It's very similar to Pedro's, but minus one element. This is probably something I've showed you before. This is a 5-inch display. It's not, how do I say this? It's not, the display is separate from the driver. So this is using a TPF 401 driver. Let me open it. It's got the same snap nub stuff. I want more brightness. Give me more brightness. So this has snap nubs like that. And you can see here that it has the HDMI out, micro USB for powering the display driver. And this is the power boost right there. So you can recharge the battery. What's it look like on the inside? Let's take a look here. Voila. So this is a FPC connector, an extension thing, and this is the FPC cable, which is all twisted and stuff. This is the same battery we're using in Pedro's project, but this is actually the same chip driver. This is the TPF 401 display driver, but it's separate. So the cool thing about this project is that you can mount this display driver in all sorts of areas. So if you want the HDMI to come out this way, or coming out that way, or coming out this way, you can totally do that. You have full freedom to do so, especially since you have this long cable that you can kind of do that. The display itself has a little bit of circuitry here. This is not a display driver. This just kind of handles some of the voltage and things. And this display driver actually does all the HDMI protocol stuff. The power boost is just giving you power. So I have this wired to the TPF driver, and the battery just plugs in via a JST connector here. So I can recharge the battery and do that. There's also a little spot here for a tripod connector, and the slide switch is right there. So if I can close it up. Can I close it up? Yes, I can. Awesome. Again, snap fit nubs are amazing because I can actually take it apart and show it to you. Little slide switch there. We were testing this out with the GoPro. We'll do that next week since that is the project next week. But yeah, works really well. Super slim. Compared to Pedro's, it's actually half the size because it doesn't have a PC in it.
Yeah.
So it works out
even
really
with
well.
just the monitor, yeah, you can see.
Yeah, but again, they're actually the same resolution, 800 by 480. But the thing is that this one is smaller.
Smaller, yeah. I mean, there's
fit it in
we
there.
sell so many different size
Screens.
because of whatever project that requires whatever size. So
Right.
this is really good as a little GoPro monitoring
Right.
camera, just because of how
This
small
great.
it is.
So slim.
Yeah,
Love it.
you got the same 3/8 the quarter 20 on the bottom there.
Yeah,
So
I haven't put mine in yet. I have to still
yeah.
do that. So I am in the midst of putting together that tutorial, documenting all the steps on how to build it and assemble it. Very straightforward. So hopefully that will be out next week. Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm sure the button is
Autofocusing,
checked.
come on.
There it goes. All right, cool. It's that brightness. I cranked it up a little too high. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. It's kind of done. I just need to do the tutorial for it. So
DIY Electronics is asking if we control the display with the Arduino.
no, you could if you wanted to do something like some PWMing of like the display the brightness.
Oh, the brightness.
But
Okay.
at default, it's just kind of full brightness. You can save a lot of power too if you have it half power, which you can do.
If you guys want to pick up any of the equipment used in these projects, displays, the drivers, keyboards.
Oh, what? Yanni just said if you haven't Cortana installed on the Windows 10, you could literally say, "Hey Cortana, print mini PC."
What?
Think about that.
That's pretty.
We need a microphone. Does that have a built-in
Wow.
microphone?
I don't believe so. No.
All right,
But
so
you
we
can
need-
add one.
Yeah,
They have all these little modules.
that'd be pretty cool.
That's pretty
cool.
sweet.
Later, Robert, he's gonna go check out the DJI news. Let us know. Come back and let us know. We want to see it too.
I want to know what's going on.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Let's move on to shop talk. I got a lot to talk about. I almost tripped on my skateboard. Let me push it back there. A lot of shop talk stuff.
So last week we were checking out installing the Flexion Extruder to get some really good Ninjaflex prints off the FlashForge.
That's right.
For some reason, we were either got a clog or just the geometry that you were trying to print was not cooperating. So you took it upon yourself to finally disassemble the entire thing and add the Flexion Extruder.
Flexion Extruder, they sent this to me, oh boy,
Well over a year ago.
well over a year ago, and it's just been sitting. We haven't been able to install it for a while, so I finally had some cycles and invested some time into actually installing this. So the assembly is, let's say, pretty straightforward, but what the unit I got was kind of a pre-release unit. There's some new upgrades and stuff since its release, and I only got one extruder. They do have a version where it has two extruders. I have the two heating, the mounting block that's for two, but I only got one extruder because it's kind of like a review test beta unit. So I put it together. It took me about half of the day because I did have to completely dismantle the FlashForge's extruder setup. So I had to take everything out. Their new version has mounting holes for the active cooling fan. My version doesn't have that, so I had to really work hard to get good prints with no active cooling fan. Not really that hard. It's just sort of, you can't do some certain geometries, like really sharp corners and stuff. So let me show you guys some couple examples here. So I'm printing at 60 millimeters a second, regular Ninjaflex, that's 85A, yeah. And this is printing really, really fast, really good quality. This is on the FlashForge Creator Pro again. It's got the MK8 style heads. I did have to remove one of the extruder nozzles because I didn't get two of them, I only got one. But I'm probably gonna just go ahead and buy the whole thing. It is a little pricey. I'll show you guys what the price is and stuff. It's a little bit more, less, actually a little bit less if you have a single extruder, and it works with certain types of machines. But this worked out really well. Even at the tip of this print, it came out phenomenal. This is 60 millimeters a second, which is like crazy for Ninjaflex. Regular Ninjaflex, not Cheetah, not Semiflex, regular Ninjaflex. Okay, so those are the clips I have. Let's take a look real quick at, let me go back over here, over there. Let me go to their website so you can get a better look at it. So this is what the full extruder looks like with two of them. Here's one, a single extruder for the Wanhao Duplicator i3. And these guys actually started Ninjaflex, or the guy who invented Ninjaflex went ahead and developed his own extruder system for printing Ninjaflex, and he even made an even more flexible material called X60. You scroll down here, you got some nice quotes from Tom and Angus. They have really great reviews on using it, so if you want to see more depth using it, real quick, just kind of things, what happens with Ninjaflex. You see the typical buckling and curling up and getting tangled up, and then under extrusion, and then just building up like a bunch of crap. This is really neat. Let's go to the actual how it works page and just kind of quickly look through it. So at a glance, here's what it looks like. I think the main thing that makes this thing work really different than a spring-loaded. Most extruders these days are spring-loaded. They kind of squish your material and press it up against the idler, and it just kind of does this, right? The thing with the grooved idler is that it has kind of a cup shape. So instead of applying pressure, it's compressing it down like this. So it's kind of cupping it and pushing it down like that. So it's pretty awesome. And it has a rotary brush that's continuously cleaning the idler, which is awesome. So you get this really nice system. You have 4 adjustable settings on the cam drive, so you can dial in the type of material that you have really, really easy. So they have 1 all the way up to 4, 1 being super flexible stuff, 2 being more like semi-flex Cheetah, 3 is for ABS, and 4 is for PLA, really hard stuff. But you can print PETG, you can print nylon, all sorts of materials. Yeah, so this works pretty well. So that's Flexion extruder, kind of in a nutshell. Definitely check out the reviews that I talked about from Angus and from Tom. Those are really good reviews. I want to show you some prints that I have here. So what is this one? All right, so the first thing I printed That's weird. So the first thing, is that right? Huh. That is weird. What is going on? That is super weird. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'll have to keep a note of that. All right, so this is a GoPro 5, and this is a Ninjaflex bumper. So this was printed in Ninjaflex, and this is a great test because there's a lot of surface detail here. There is not much overhang. I did modify the design a little bit. There's a tiny bit of overhang, but this is a great kind of demo print to see how well we get layer adhesion and stuff. So I have two parts here. I'm going to show them to you right here. This orange one was printed on the Type A machines, the printer in the back here, the Type A Machine Series 1 Pro. You can see that there is some under extrusion going on here. There's some noticeable holes, noticeable gaps. And then on this pink part, which is printed on the Flexion Extruder on the FlashForge Creator Pro, this has incredible good surface quality. The layer bonding is really nice. It is so good that I have to actually turn up the retraction distance. So I have to tell the machine to retract even more because so much material is able to pump out of it.
That's a good point too. You can actually turn on retraction.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, or you get too much goopiness. Here's another look at some of the surface detail. You can see kind of struggles there. And over here, you have a little bit of a, it's not 100%, but it's still got a really nice surface quality. These build lines look really, really nice. Over here, you can see I modified Pedro's design a bit. I just took this part and chopped it off because I didn't think it was necessary. It does help out with rigidity, but it's okay without it too.
And one thing that you cannot see on there, the infill for the one print with the Flexion looks a lot better than the non.
Solid.
Nice
the
and
infill
solid, yeah.
is super solid. It's not weak and thin.
So usually
not wispy.
to combat that, you have to slow down when it's actually doing infill inside of Simplify 3D, which will obviously increase your print time. So it's good that you don't have to mess with any of those settings for that.
Correct. The tolerances all came out really well. It is a flexible design, so you can
just push it in there.
Just push it in there and kind of morph it. This is a really great design, Pedro. So good job on that. Great first try print. Got it really good. Second print I tried was a very, very simple bumper. Again, printed at 60 millimeters a second. This is a good example of a bit of an overhang on the Z, so you can see that there is a little bit of droopage. I do not have an active cooling fan yet. I still need to upgrade my thing to do that. And there's some little holes here for putting a lanyard loop. And here's more overhanging stuff. Come on, focus.
Closer. Closer.
I think we go like this, and then trick it. There you go. So you can see the overhang there. It's not too bad. There's no cleanup there, so you can see a little bit on the edge, but overall the clearance and stuff worked out well. This is just a simple little bumper that I made for your Apple TV remote. The new Apple TV remote is made out of glass. It's very fragile. If you drop it, it will crack and break into a million pieces. You can see some of the, some of the stuff I didn't clean up here. I left it here on purpose just so I can show you guys. So you can clean it up a little bit. I do need to turn up the retraction a bit. But hey, this works out really well. That was the second print. Very useful. This is definitely the right type of geometry because you don't need an active cooling fan in order to get this, this kind of bumper thing. And it prints in like 15 minutes, which is crazy. So back a couple years ago, when we first got into Ninjaflex, I made these Ninjaflex enclosures. Ninjaflex enclosures, yeah. So these are great for mounting electronics to things like tote bags, fabric, e-textiles, clothing. This is supposed to house a Gemma microcontroller. See the circular here? We do have the USB port over here in the opening. We have a little port here for the slide switch. So again, this is printed at 60 millimeters a second. The first layer is incredible bonding. You can see the inside layers are incredibly well bonded. There's no noticeable gaps. There was a little bit of a problem here because there is overhang, and it's a curved overhang. It's not straight, so it's a little bit tougher on the thing. But the cool thing about this design is that it has this little lip here. It's a lot like the snap fit nubs that we have, but you wouldn't be able to do this with regular PLA or ABS because you can't flex it like this. So this kind of locks into these mating chamfers that are on the edges here. But there's a little bit of a problem if you push it in all the way. It kind of gets pressed in all the way, which is something I learned how to fix in a recent design. Here's a square version. This was to hold an amplifier. So it feels a lot like a gasket, like a rubber gasket thing. All of this is Ninjaflex. You can crush it and it'll just go back to the shape. It's super awesome. Layer bonding again. Here's a little circle. You can see you can do circles okay. A straight line overhangs are just fine. Nice little distance there of like 10 millimeters or so. This has sew tabs. So these are little tabs that are meant for mounting, so you can sew this onto fabric. Same type of lip. It has a chamfer on that lip, and then inside here there's also a chamfer on this edge here, so when you meet them together they stay locked in. So that's whatever, that's kind of neat. So after that I thought I would try to make, these are kind of cool, look at this. These are kind of remix this version to get better snap fits. The little pirate guy, the pirate face, little happy face there. There's some little details here just to kind of give, I think this is a new design I put together over the weekend. And these lock so well that you actually have to peel them apart in order to open them. So as you peel it apart, you can see what I'm doing here. I have two chamfered circular rings that go along this lip here. There's a little end stopper out here at the base. And on the inside of this, there's just one ring with chamfers on both the top and the bottom. So when you bring them together, you can snap them like this. And since there's an end stop, you won't have something like that where you push it in and it's kind of, you have to kind of keep putting more effort into kind of getting it to close properly. You can just smash these together and you're done. So that worked out really well. I also did another version where the tolerances were a little bit different. As you can see, I'm turning it, right? There's a distance of, or clearance rather, of about 0.5 of a millimeter. That's a half of a millimeter. So this one has doubles. This one has doubles as well. So nice clickiness to it, nice flex to it. You can crush them, and it's amazing. I really like these. At first, you're making like circular enclosures or square enclosures. I think this is the right kind of geometry to do, where they snap in and stay locked in. This one's a little bit better because the tolerances are like 0.2 instead of 0.5. So these are pretty neat. A little pirate face. Arr. All right, another thing that I thought I would print is this little demo here. This is just two perimeters, right? Printed in regular Ninjaflex at 60 millimeters a second, but look at this. You can compress this down because of the geometry, right? And it actually gives a fair amount of suction. So you can make all sorts of interesting things that need to compress. Maybe you need to make a spring, maybe conduits, maybe a pump. I saw the guys from BCN 3D make a pump. So this is interesting. You can kind of hear how that is actually doing pretty good. There is a little bit of a problem here. You can see that there's, I'm printing too fast because you can see it's starting to lose its grip here on the Z seam. There we go, you can see that right there, that's where the Z seam is. So it's not really that great there. If it had an active cooling fan, probably be printed better, but the rest of the print is pretty superb. It's pretty nice. It's definitely still functional. So it's cool that you can make these geometries with Ninjaflex that is built and designed to kind of compress. I made a farting machine. That's pretty dope. Another thing, how about coils? How well can we print coils, threads, custom threads? I gotcha, right here. So this is a two-piece thing. I'm going to start turning this, and you can see there are coils on the inside. So this is a coil, 2 millimeter section size, with a revolution, 2 revolutions, so it revolves 2 times to make this coil. This is a 1.5 millimeters thick, so it's fully Ninjaflex printed. The excellent layer bonding again. There's a little bit of cleanup that we can do here, but that's not a problem. You can clean it up with scissors. Here's the other part. It's got that same coil, but positioned in a way so that when you join them together, they kind of mate. These two areas mate. This is excellent. One thing that I thought was really cool, look, it's a puppet now. I put water in here. Put water in there, closed this up, tightened it up, and it actually held water. These are watertight Ninjaflex prints. That is awesome. So you can squish this around. Obviously, you can pull this apart because it's Ninjaflex. You can still pull it apart if you need to, but it still coils in. Nice. One of the things is because it's rubber on rubber, that's a lot of friction, right? So when you tighten these, if you're applying too much pressure, it's kind of difficult twist them together, but if you just lightly hold on to it, you can twist it in, and that's pretty cool. So I think this is an interesting way. I haven't done any coils, custom threads with Ninjaflex, and this is my first kind of attempt at it. I think there's a lot of practical uses for it, and hopefully this inspires somebody out there to use it if they can print Ninjaflex. Well, I know it's still challenging to print Ninjaflex, but the whole point was to get my FlashForge to be a dedicated Ninjaflex printing machine, and I think I have done that. So I don't know how long that was, but it felt like a long time. All these demo prints. So I got all these demo prints. I have more that I'm going to share next week, but there's a lot of, I've been doing a lot of Ninjaflex stuff. Like, who prints Ninjaflex? I do. This is my favorite one.
What percentage of infill did you use for most of these prints?
20.
20% infill?
Most of them don't even need infill because they're nothing but perimeters, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's solid top and bottom layers, and there's solid perimeters, so there's really no infill going on, which is pretty cool. The one that does have infill would probably be this one. This one definitely has infill. And
the bottom, yeah.
I wish I could show you a cross section of it. I've never seen something like that before. If you check out Angus's video on his Maker Muse YouTube channel, he can show you that he canceled one of the prints just to show how solid the infill is. It was gorgeous.
Very surprised, yeah.
Yeah.
Also got a question, or no, just comment that this would make very nice little cases for a Gemma or a Circuit Playground.
Yes.
Which we have already done.
Yes.
We made a Circuit Playground wearable wrist.
Yeah, I should have printed that too. But yeah.
This one was
I'm just fascinated that I can print Ninjaflex reliably, well, and faster.
Mm-hmm.
That is
with
incredible.
Better.
To me, the price doesn't matter because like I need to be able to print this stuff for work.
Mm-hmm. So
again, if you want to look at this thing, it is pricey. Here are the prices. Go to their website. You can click on the shop button. It's just flexionextruder.com. Their single extruder is about 150. These are custom machine parts in the States. These are custom machine, anodized, red metal, aluminum. Really cool. 250 plus for the dual extrusion version. Yeah, it's pricey. I know it's pricey. But if you're really serious about Ninjaflex and you need to print it reliably, this is just an extra cost of like just upgrading your machine for reliable Ninjaflex printing. I mean, these guys made Ninjaflex. I think they're the ones that had to make this. So
they know all the properties, so they know exactly what to look out for.
Yeah.
We got Curtis in the chat asking about a cheap computer, Linux computer, not a Pi. It's too weak for his needs. Maybe a BeagleBone Black? That's
BeagleBone?
Linux, right? BeagleBone Black?
Yeah, it's like a Pi,
Yeah.
but more powerful.
If you want to pull up the product for that.
BeagleBone, yeah, just go to the Adafruit and search for BeagleBone. BeagleBone, here you go. The starter pack's like $89.
Yeah.
The regular one's $55. 4 gigs of what, RAM or
Comes
storage?
with a pre-installed Debian.
Debian.
So check that out. Maybe that would work out for you.
Well, check it. The Type A has a built-in BeagleBone, right?
Yeah.
It comes with one. Instead of a Pi, it's a little bit more powerful. Texas Instruments, yay. All right, cool.
Was another comment.
Oh,
what slicers do we use? Simplify 3D, Cura, 2.6 now came out yesterday. So you want to check that out. They got some really cool new features.
Yeah. And if you want to pick Ninjaflex, we got a lot of Ninjaflex in in store.
Got
every color.
A ton of different colors,
Yeah.
different types.
Yeah. Check it.
Somebody's asking, what about a phone case? Yes, we've made a lot of...
I should have printed I haven't updated my phone case design. Just imagine this as a phone, right? It definitely would work. This is like how the iPhone case would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have designs for...
I have it for my old like 6 Plus, so I need to.
I have one for the 7, but it's not. It's for the PLA, the rigid material one. So we just need to update those.
Yeah.
We also have ones for the iPhone 4, 5.
This is such a
6.
interesting. It's grippy, but it's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Grippy smooth, if that makes sense. It's smooth, but it still stays in your hand, so it's pretty nice. Anyway. Okay, so I got some not shop talk. So that's pretty much it for shop talk. If you guys have any more questions or anything on the save them up. We're going to do a full Q&A at the end of the show. I have one more thing to talk about. This is Space Computer Makes. I have 2 of them, so let me go ahead and share them with you right now. The first one, of course, is we don't even have time to do this, Pedro. This is a fidget spinner. This is from Thingiverse user Adrian, I believe. Let me see.
Yeah, so it's a remix of a different design. It was a little bit bigger. He made this slimmer so it would print faster.
Yeah, these are
All the
printed place bearings.
Nice, popular. So what I really like about this is not that it's, a lot of people don't like they're tired of the fidget spinners. It's that it's a print in place bearing that you can add for, like a spool holder or for like prosthetics or anything like that, where you need like something that's built in. You don't want to put things together. And the secret to make it spin that way, because right off the bed it doesn't spin that much, for that long. We're using real butter, which is what you use on like skates, skateboards,
fishing line.
Fishing line. Yeah, this is actually what it's for. So we apply a couple of drops of that into the grooves first, and then we finish it off with some alcohol, some rubbing alcohol. And for whatever reason, the way that those two react together is able to make a nice, smooth surface on the inside. I saw one of the comments, people asking, isn't the alcohol going to melt the parts together? No, it actually makes
If it was
smoother.
acetone and ABS, yes, that would happen.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
No. Alcohol doesn't melt PLA.
Yeah.
It's just alcohol.
Yep. So for whatever reason, those combination of those two, adding the real butter first, just like one drop, and then the alcohol makes it spin a lot more better. So
I mean, this is something I just knew to do with regular 608 ZZ bearings, the metal bearings.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, try it on plastic. Maybe it'll work. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? It breaks and you do another one.
Yeah, so we'll just apply one drop of this on the inside.
Then kind of smooth it out, like spread it in there.
Spin it in there. Yeah. Did I actually get it in there, or did I just get it on the top?
You didn't actually get in there. Yeah, so another question is, like, how did you actually get this to print without the parts fusing together? What's your secret?
So for this, you can either try playing with the horizontal compensation.
If you have that option.
Yeah, or toning down your diameter size for your nozzle.
So you're telling it to print thinner lines?
Yes.
I thought the extrusion width would do that. Or is it
you could do that as well.
Two?
Yeah, a combination of those two.
Okay,
so you can see that I did put some drops of the real butter in there, and it spins a little bit better, but not as much as how this one spins.
Yeah, a couple seconds.
So, yeah. So if we add now the rubbing alcohol to this.
Where's the
towel?
Case it, yeah. These are great squeegee bottles, by the way.
Yeah. Squirt that in there like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You're able to, it's just print in place.
Yeah.
No bearings, nothing to assemble, just adding
like what is it, just a chamfer?
oil
like
or yeah, it's just a chamfer that's on the inside.
There's no like balls or anything like that.
Yeah, so here's
regular.
one before we did any of that. You can see that like stops right away. Yeah. And then one where we just did all that spinning. So again, really cool properties for making a spool holder or any sort of like thing where you would need something to spin where it just prints in place. So,
marble run machine or something.
Yeah. So that is what is the coolest thing about this product. Not that it's a fidget spinner, it's just that we're able to print in place bearings on that.
Pretty cool.
Huge shout out to they're linked in the Timelapse, Adrian, and if you click on what this was inspired by.
Was it inspired by a spool holder?
No, it was someone else who made just a thicker one.
Oh, okay.
This was by Muzz64. It's really cool.
Yeah, it works.
And again, I just used 10% infill on this. So if you add more, if you print it with copper fill or some sort of metal infused filament, you will be able to get this a little bit more
or 100%
heavier,
infill.
Or 100% infill, and get this to spin a lot more longer. But for the time, it takes about half hour to print these. So these are excellent for whatever booths or shows that you're gonna have. Nice little giveaways.
Curtis, a good comment. Try printing it in Ninjaflex. Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually. I love how that is able to spin. But nice Timelapse Tuesday on that one. Very awesome make on that. And again, the property of print in place bearings. Cool.
So if you want to pick up something in the shop, please do. It supports us and supports your maker habit. Use coupon code mini
PC. It gets 10% off. Yeah. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight.
Cool. Well, we're still on the community makes. I got
Yeah.
some really good ones.
Two really good ones.
Next one. This is from Desktop Makes on YouTube. Check this out. Give him a subscribe and a comment. Tell him that we sent you. He's doing a great job. Desktop Makes. He put together an automated Twisty Vase type thing using Adafruit Circuit Playground. So this is pretty cool. I think this is great. So
I love how simple this project is. It's a simple Circuit Playground that's running the motor that's pulling the twisty top with a magnet, and it has a little end switch so it knows to restart.
Right.
Really cool little project video as well. I just love how simple this is and
it's excellent.
How Circuit Playground enables
stop switch.
Yeah, Circuit Playground enables a really compact.
Not only does it light
project.
it up, but it's also controlling the motor as well.
Super
and
cool.
sensing when the end stop hits. So this is really awesome. He made this out of copper pipe. Check out the full video. Desktop Makes. Give him a subscribe and a share and a like and all that stuff. Comment on his thing. Tell him Adafruit sent you. We're sharing his project this tomorrow. So he did an excellent job on the project video. Super cool. Great tutorials as well. He's doing Fusion 360 tutorials.
Yes.
Very awesome.
As you give him a subscribe.
Also, Micah Elizabeth Scott on YouTube. Give her a subscribe. She's doing a lot of streaming, a lot of great content coming in from her. She's been reverse engineering a Fiutech gimbal so that she can make a telepresence robot for her cat, so that people in the chat room can move this camera that's on a gimbal, remote, like robot style, to interact with her cat.
Yeah, definitely check out the explanation video on this. She's done a great job of editing.
It's like a mini documentary. Yeah. Heartwarming. It's very beautiful. Very, very well edited.
Course.
And
super
just love
cute,
this cat, man.
Cats.
Tuco the cat. Great.
Check that out.
He's awesome, yeah.
Lots of 3D printing, electronics.
Can you imagine that? Like going in the chat room and like controlling the telepresence robot.
So cool. We're gonna check that out to see their ventures
super amazing. Reverse engineering and 3D printing, electronics, everything. Check that out.
Very cool.
A lot of cats. And give her a subscribe and a like. Tell her we sent you. That's it for Community Makes. If you guys have any projects you want to share, you can share it with us. You can hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, or any of these social channels. I'm Ekin, Pedro's Video Pixel, and of course at Adafruit, any of those social channels. If you want to share your projects tonight, you can do that. Tonight we have a show and tell. It's at 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll be there. We're going to share some stuff.
Yep, so it's a Google Hangout. Everybody can come along and show off your latest project.
The way you do it now, you just go in the chat room. We'll pop you the link. That's it. It's easier now.
Very cool.
Very cool. So check that out. And then Ask an
right
Engineer.
after that.
Ask Engineers right after that, 8 o'clock. For a full hour of Lamar and Phil. I'm looking forward to see what they got cooking. They've been doing some great live streams on Desk of Leda. Last night, right before I went to bed, Lamar went live.
You can look at the preview of a future project.
Future project. Very, very cool stuff. They got a new soldering microscope.
Oh my God,
They just went out. It's beautiful. Check that out. Great stuff. We've come to the end of the show, Pedro. We got one last thing to do, Q&A. I've been neglecting the chat room. Hey guys, how you doing? If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat room. Pedro's going to do his best to scroll up and look for them. But you guys do a great job of answering. So if you have any answers, please help in the chat room. This is a great little community here where people can help each other. This is great. Thank you guys for helping each other. Can you print me a girlfriend now?
So Stuart is saying that he tried printing a spinner in Ninjaflex, but it did not hold the bearing too good. Yeah, we'll try to print one in place with Ninjaflex, see how good that is.
That would not work.
The stringing.
That would not work.
Maybe. Hey, only one way to find out.
I just told you, like, there's a lot of friction, right? There's a lot of friction happening.
If there's enough gap between it, maybe?
No, there's just too much friction. This is
rubber.
rubber. Rubber on rubber is like, you know.
YTFP is saying that he has a Kangaroo PC but has never used it. You know what? Same thing here. It laid around for like a year and a half until...
You got it for a very specific reason.
It was for testing some of the Arduino stuff that only worked on a PC. So that was the main reason why I picked it up. was only $99. Tony D actually suggested this. I had no idea they
Oh.
made them that small, so I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is new to me.
Full-blown PC with for
The size
$99.
of a pie, yeah. But running Windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was a real reason. And then, like you said, I had it around for like a year until I actually had to do a lot of firmware upgrading for the BCN Sigmas, which happy to report they will be in stock pretty soon. They've been sitting there for a little bit, but the receiving team is putting those on the shelf, so we should be able to get those in stock pretty soon. But yeah, they're always updating their firmware for that. They're always increasing the features that you're able to get to it and the quality. So they have like nightly builds on their GitHub repository if you want to check that out.
Okay, next question. What's the best bang for the buck printer for $200 or more? Everybody's got this question. It's a very good question. What is like the best printer I can get for the least amount of money? That's very difficult to do.
Everybody keeps liking the Monoprice.
Monoprice Select?
The Select.
Okay.
Yeah, not the Delta. I don't know. Have we tried the M3D Pro yet?
No.
I have not yet. I think they're still going to send us one. But we will let you guys know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, what was the other question? Wood fill PLA spinner. Totally possible. I haven't tried it. Stuart is saying that we did one, the Adafruit wood fill spinner. That was actually real wood. I CNC milled one. So yeah, I milled it out of pine, which worked excellent. Let's see, another one is...
Just comment on the Delta Mini is on sale for $150.
We should just get it just to like use it and see with all if it's actually worth it. We definitely have enough printers. It's just sometimes we need to kind of get a lower model just to see is it worth it.
Yeah.
Prusa i3 MK2 is the best.
Yep, everybody likes those.
Everybody loves it. Check it out. Okay. Let's see, what was another one? Any questions?
Gyro arm for gear.
Okay, that's it. That's it for the show. It is 12 p.m. I gotta start editing.
It is lunchtime.
It is lunchtime. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to support the show, we have Super Chat in YouTube, and even better, get something at the shop. 10% off, mini PC. That's great stuff going on there. We gotta go. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the chat room. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you want to join us, we're on every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
All the behind-the-scenes stuff is posted on Twitter, Instagram, if you guys want to check it out.
Check out Pedro on Instagram. He's got a lot of Snapchat stuff going on.
I just record the whole day and then do a nice little wrap-up of what's going on. But
up there.
Check those out. And we're always releasing videos every single day on Instagram too, on the Adafruit channel if you want to check those out for past projects.
Yep.
There's so many, I'm sure you've missed a couple. Like over 400 videos of content
projects. When you do a project a week and you do it for 3 years, you kind of come up with a nice collection of them. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you tonight again at Show and Tell.
Don't forget to come in early if you have a project to show off, and we'll let you on the show.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you later tonight and next week, of course.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye, everybody. End it with this. Did that work? No, that didn't work.
Yar.